Right, guys, so I figured I would vlog kind of what I'm doing today. So I woke up, I did some client calls, I did went on a walk, like something I've started to do. It's like when I wake up, the first thing that I do after like I go to the bathroom and I weigh myself in the morning, I go on a walk for like 10-20 minutes just to get like some, look, I have some blood on my nose. It's awkward. It's super dry here, so sometimes my nose gets like bloody. Anyways, I go around and like just walk around for like 10-20 minutes and just get some vitamin D exposure. Just really important to do that. It helps with like circadian biology and feeling just a lot better. And so that's something that I just really started to do, and it just really helps me get my day like all out on the right foot. You know, get like a little like monster like rock star, like a 3D. You know, maybe coffee, like who knows, like just like get my brain right. And I'll go like do my client check-ins for about 4 hours or so, and then we kind of come to like right now in the day it's about 5 p.m. and so I kind of just like when I start to like get ready to go train, you know, see if Quinn wants to go train, that type of stuff. We don't always train just because we have different schedules, and like sometimes like we just have other shit that we have to deal with, but like I'll always like, you know, see like if he wants to go lift, because why not. But yeah, I woke up this morning, I was 181.6 pounds, kind of been fluctuating and been like the 181 to like 182 range. Sometimes I like dip above slightly 180, 182. Sometimes I'll be slightly below 180, 181, be like 180 in range. But most of the time I'm waking up between like 181 and 182. So basically I'm like right at weight / a little bit underweight on average. So I started, because like long term, I want to actually grow into the 90 kilo weight class. So I kind of started my bulk officially now, tentatively, about 100 to 200 calorie surplus per day. I don't eat like the exact amount of food every single day, because my activity levels do change and whatnot. But I try to like be around that, be kind of cognizant. I know more or less like what my body needs and what surplus is for me. So it's about, you know, just having like some small little, you know, maybe like a little bit more cereal here. Like maybe you have, you know, a little bit more freedom with like, you know, what sauces that I use or whatever. It's like just very small changes over time, and really mostly just focusing on eating for my performance. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm currently 4 weeks out too from my meets. You guys should have just seen or will see my last week of training, which went really well. My peak week of last progression. Right now I have a deload week / a pivot week, where basically I change my progression a little bit in the gym with like what I'm doing in terms of like exercises or rep ranges. So usually it's like some combination of the two, but not always. Like this block, really nothing changed, just different rep ranges and lower intensities and stuff like that. So yeah, that's essentially what the plans for today. I'm probably going to show you what I'm going to have for my pre-workout, and then some training and maybe some meals. We'll see. So a major key to make sure you're getting in enough water is just buying like a big ass gallon jug, or if you're like Quinn, you get these really nice jugs, but make sure that you stay on top of your water. Dehydration is something that can like really massively impact performance, like up to like 40 to 60%, depending on the extent of it. So it's pretty easy, you know, just buy one of these, drink it throughout the day. Probably try to get in like at least a gallon per day. Make sure that you're peeing clear like about every hour, and you're probably going to be a-okay. Walk time. Yeah. Walk time. So my pre-workout choice today is going to be some Koala Freak, and I also like adding in like creatine pre-training, because creatine is an awesome light. It helps draw some water into the muscle, and that's going to help out with muscle contractions, pump, all that good stuff. Because Koala Freak does not have that, but I just add this in, and then all is good in the world. So we have a scoop of that, and that. That's the plan. Come on. Here. Guy, got your toy? Got your toy? What toy do you want? You got cow? Toy? What do you want to do? Or are you thinking right now? I do not know what I want. I have a toy. My master is now walking away. What is he doing? Must follow my master. Must protect at all times. He seems okay. Okay, now back to you. Back to you. Oh, now I'm not sure what I want to do. What am I going to do? Oh, now I'm going to go back. Yes, I protect. I coda. Good protector, doggo. Big, much big, fierce, with the toy cow in mouth. So I'm going to go head out and go train right now. Quinn's about to go train too. Quinn is snacking on these cheddar rice cakes, which are slept upon. You guys see them in your local grocery store. Definitely hit them up if you like the savory rice cakes and stuff like that. It's like lower calorie too compared to like normal potatoes. It's right, more volume. And Quinn's cutting right now. You hit him a little weigh-in yesterday, right? 193.
Yeah.
193. Feeling good?
Pretty good. Yeah, I've adjusted to the cut. Alright, I'm tired of eating these crumbs.
What are you training today?
I'm doing push.
Push? Cool. Yeah, Quinn, you're in hypertrophy phase, correct?
Yeah, just all volume work.
That phase potentiation action. I'm in that big intensity phase of it's heavy. That's where he's out for you. So yeah, we both train scientifically, smart, kind of like we both know our bodies pretty well. So we more or less what we respond well to, and what we like, what exercises work well for us, and what don't, and whatnot. So as you get more experience and whatnot, you kind of will have a lot easier time knowing like what to do and what your body responds best to. So that's what coaching helps out with, though. So I'm gonna go out and train. Quinn's gonna go train at a different gym than me, so because he unfortunately got a flat on his cars. There's a ton of construction out here and hit a nail, but yeah, I might show you the session. I might not. But yeah, that's the plan. All right, guys. So I wanted to show you guys kind of the training highlights from my last week of training. Starting with my last Saturday workout, I hit a pretty smooth 640 single on deadlift, and then hit a PR top set of 4 with 573 for 4 and RPE of 8. And honestly, this has been the best that deadlifts have been going. Really, every single lift has been really hitting a groove. Besides bench, I'm not exactly sure why. I have a hypothesis that I think it's due to my bench press. I've seen it from just really paying attention to the data and just little trends I noticed in my own training and fatigue patterns, that I just seem to get really beat up with high intensity on bench press. And if I do go into that 85% plus work, I really need to make sure that it's low fatigue and not going above like an RPE of 8. And I just don't seem to respond super well to that. So I think that my whole approach with bench press kind of going into this meet is going to be more so training into the meet and just kind of establishing a little more predictability with that structure and utilizing higher reps. So basically I'm going to be pushing sets of like 5, 6, and 8 going into my meet, with any repetition work that I do below that kind of being like more of a power base for terms of the setup from a DUP standpoint, which usually, if you're going to have 3 days in a training week, which usually I do have, you'll have a hypertrophy day, a high power day / technique day, and then a actual strength day. And on my power day / technique day, that's when I'll be going a little bit higher intensity, but have a little bit lower relative effort. So maybe I'm pushing my hypertrophy days up to like, RPE 8s, 9s, same with my actual like strength days with like 5+ reps. But then once I go to below that, I'm going to have to cap it out at like a 7-ish RPE, just because I just have historically just found that I just really do not do well with high intensity on bench. On the contrary, though, my deadlift and my squat seem to respond extremely well to higher intensity base training. So I'm still going to be pushing that pretty well. but hit some PRs right there on my squat and on also a heavy set of 3 on deadlift, on conventional. Last block I hit 584 for 3, but that was like a little bit more fresh, a little bit more respite between my primary deadlift day and my secondary deadlift day. So I'm really hyped about that, and that 358 for 7s is a really big PR for me. This top set of 3, I moved pretty well too. Again, I did push intensity a little bit harder this block. It's kind of just to see like would my actual what I'm asking to go up, or I just kind of just seemed to I mostly just got fatigued and not much progress happened. And I think I'm kind of seeing that I just got fatigued, and like I think that like although this is a big volume curve, I got a 5x4 with 285. I kind of experienced a pretty big downtick in my 100 max strength kind of that week, and just the top end was just super suppressed. And I'm like, it could just be because it's the end of a wave load, a lot of volume accumulation, lots of fatigue, and could just be masking like all that fitness. But I'm fairly confident with this, and I think I'm just going to train into my meat normally and not really try to peak it bench press, but I'm going to do more of a traditional peaking approach on squat and deadlift. Speaking of squat, this is a huge PR. This is 430 for a top set of 3. I at RPE 9, and I remember back in March, this was my 3rd attempt, just 5 pounds heavier, and being able to triple this, and know I could also do 4 reps if I really want to go all out RPE D10. Is just really awesome for me. I'm really excited to see where squat is at the end of this block. And when I go into my meet, but it's kind of just about staying in the pocket, and it's really making sure that I'm doing the right things and with my squat training. But what I've kind of found with my coach for squat seems to be working very well. Same with deadlift, and I think that we're going to see a really good trend. This is 336. This is actually the heaviest I will go until my meet. This was really heavy. Probably like a 9.5. I think I had maybe 2.5 more kilos, but that was about it. And then this is really big ability PR for me. This is 300 kilos, 661 pounds. I misgrouped really hard off the floor. You can see right there, I kind of, missed that. My upper back was just really fried, and that's why it just, lockout was just harder for me, in that if I lose that really good position up top, lockout just is really hard because it just becomes like a back raise. And then I proceeded to do 584 for a top set of 4 with way better upper back position. And, my Western Mid max on this set was 677 pounds because I was just in a better position. So it's just what kind of goes to show, you need that practice with heavier loads to be able to practice, that good technique and staying within that, and just not sacrificing that starting position is just super important. But yeah, really happy with how training's been going. Really fatigued, so I'm taking deload this week and pivoting into this new wave into my meet, and just really excited to see where things are at by the end of this. So yeah, shooting for that 1,500 plus pound total. The last meet for the juniors. So I'm pretty optimistic about what's to come. So I had a brutal session. Don't mind the stain on my thing from my blueberries. I swear I'm 23 years old, but I'm buying some groceries, some basic stuff like some rice cakes, spinach, popcorn, stuff like that. And I have to go out in search of just like some yogurts and some eggs. There's like little odds and ends. I kind of shop every single day. It's just I average probably about $8-10 a day spent on food, depending on what I eat. So most of my diet consists of stuff like rice cakes and cereal, potatoes. I started having a little bit more meat in my diet because I realized I kind of feel a little bit better with that. I don't have as high of a chance of getting deficiencies. So I'm going to get some Greek yogurts. This light and fit stuff like this is like the shit. And then this Carb Master stuff I get sometimes every now and then. I already have it at home. But it's really good. It's got really high protein, not a ton of lactose too. So if you are a little bit sensitive to dairy and lactase enzyme, that can kind of help you out a lot. But yeah, I also have like lots of fruits and lots of veggies. I think that's something like a lot of people need to do a better job of. Like I know as I coach people, most of y'all need to be eating more fruits and vegetables. It's really important. Just buy some fruit, it's delicious. Have some, you know, make some salads, do stuff like that. Be creative, and you will feel better, and you will have less chance of dying, which is always ideal for making gains. You'll just be more vibrant and handsome. Alright guys, so to end off this video, I'm going to show you guys a quick recipe. So Quinn can, you know, testify to this. I don't fucking cook. I use a microwave. This is my version of God. But yeah, anyways, this is literally just a super quick like protein run, like brownie / like mud cake recipe that you can make super easy. So the ingredients you're going to need are baking cocoa, 10 grams of this. 1 whole egg, or you can just use egg whites. I use whole eggs because I'm bulking, I need the calories, I'm small. 180 grams of pure pumpkin puree. You won't taste this at all, it's just like adds volume and flavor. 2 packets of sweetener, and then you can use like up to a full scoop of protein. I use Staunch cereal milk protein. I'm just going to use half a scoop. But if you need a little more protein in it, or you want to like, make it a little bit more volume, you just add in a full scoop of whey protein. But I'll show you guys exactly how to do that. So we're going to add in, I use a food scale to weigh out everything. So we're just going to add in 10 grams of baking cocoa, 10 grams. Just rip these bitches open. No calories, no problem. 0 calories, sweetener. If you die of cancer, which you probably won't, at least you'll die shredded. I'm going to put in half a scoop of whey, which is going to be 15 grams. You guys see there. You can see like by the serving sizes, the scoops. So it was like 29.48. I just say it's fucking 30 because it's just easier to do that. I don't want to think about it. So put in that 15 grams, 13, 15, right on the dots. And then, because you guys want to first put in all the dry ingredients first, so you know they don't clump together. You want to stir that around for just a little bit, get all nice and mixed, so it looks kind of all like that, all nice and not as clumpy. Bam. Then we're going to put in 1 whole egg. Bada bang, bada boom. I know you guys are impressed by the egg crack skills. Quinn, you're impressed, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I crushed my egg today, so.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, they don't teach you this. You know, this is what you learn in culinary school in fucking France. And then what I put in, this is basically going to be like almost a cup of pumpkin puree. I know you guys are like, what the fuck? Why am I putting this in? It adds in like consistency and volume, a ton of fiber in it. Tastes delicious. So yeah. Now that's all in. That's what it looks like. Now what we're going to do, go over here, grab a fork. You are Gucci and whisk, you need to whisk too. If I do, then I slowly want to fold this all in. Looks a little bit weird right now. You want to fold all this in. I swear to God, guys, this is actually not
It looks
bad.
delicious.
Yeah.
Chef Adam here. Here we are going to do exclusive culinary adventure.
I will say it does smell pretty good.
It does smell good, and that's all that fucking matters.
Yeah, it does smell.
Now, because you can see there's not enough liquid in there, come over here, put in just a little bit, not too much, probably about like, I don't know, like 1/8 of a cup. Do you think that was? Yeah. I don't measure, I just put it in, right? Mixing this all up. Coda, you can be patient. Coda does not appreciate my cooking skills.
She just yawned, she's bored.
She's bored.
I need you to talk in an accent like this. And this is Max Tuning. Chef Max here. But today we are in the kitchen, serving the other things.
Okay, now 10,000 years later.
10,000 years later, you should look kind of like this, kind of consistency like that, similar to a brownie. Now, oh, fucking delicious, perfect. Now we're going to go over here to the microwave. You know that the time my sleep schedule is a vacuum, I swear. we're going to put it in here for roughly about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, what you want to do here is envision the aroma, envision the taste. Think about how good it's going to taste on your palate. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Anyways.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. We're going to put this in the microwave. Now we're just going to wait for it to play live. Alright guys, so now it's all out of the microwave. This is kind of like what it's going to look like. You don't want it cooked all the way through. You want a little bit of like a gooey consistency in the middle of it. But yeah, basically the calories on this, I believe, are like, it's basically like less than 200 calories. I'll pop the macros up on the screen here like once I calculate it. But like super easy, convenient, delicious. You can put like some 0-calorie syrup on there. I love putting on like, you know, Greek yogurt too. Just super delicious and really just satisfies that sweet tooth craving if you're dieting or, you know, you want to have a healthier treat, a little bit more micronutrition on it. So yeah. I'll put the recipe down in the description box below, but I definitely recommend that you guys try this out. It's actually really good.